Before the United States and Belgium meet on the pitch this World Cup, there's something worth remembering. 80 years ago, these two nations weren't rivals. They were allies, fighting side by side, in the snow, in the forests, in one of the deadliest battles American soldiers ever faced. And it happened on Belgian soil. It was December 1944. World War II was supposed to be winding down. The Allies had pushed the Germans back after D-Day, and everyone believed the worst was over. Then, without warning, Hitler launched one final, desperate offensive, right through the dense forests of the Ardennes in eastern Belgium. It became known as the Battle of the Bulge, and it would turn into the bloodiest single battle American forces fought in the entire war. Over 600,000 American troops were pulled into this fight. Nearly 90,000 became casualties. More than 19,000 never made it home. Let that sink in for a second. More American lives were lost here than in Okinawa, than in Guadalcanal, than in Iwo Jima. And it happened in the quiet countryside of Belgium, a country that never wanted this war in the first place. But the numbers only tell part of the story. What happened in the small towns of Belgium, that's where this gets personal. In the town of Bastogne, American troops found themselves completely surrounded, cut off, outnumbered. The Germans sent a message demanding surrender. The American commander's response was one word: nuts. That's it. No negotiation, no fear in the message, just defiance. Bastogne held. And that town in Belgium became a symbol of American resilience that's still remembered today. But not every story from that winter is one of triumph. In a small Belgian village called Wereth, 11 black American soldiers surrendered peacefully. They were tortured and killed by enemy forces. For decades, their story was barely told. Today, a quiet memorial stands in that village, built not by their own government at first, but by the local Belgian families who never forgot what happened in their backyard. Belgian villagers, remembering American soldiers, decades later. And this bond didn't start in 1944. Go back further, to World War I. When Belgium was starving under occupation, it wasn't the American government that stepped in first. It was ordinary American citizens, organized by a man named Herbert Hoover. Years before he'd ever become president, Hoover led a relief effort that shipped food and medicine across the ocean, saving millions of Belgian lives. A future president, saving a nation, before he ever held office. So when you watch USA and Belgium walk out onto that pitch, know this. These two nations have a history that goes far deeper than football. They've stood on the same side of history more than once, in the hardest moments imaginable. Soldiers from Iowa and farmers from the Ardennes, bound together by something bigger than sport. If stories like this matter to you, the history hiding behind the headlines, make sure you're subscribed, because this isn't the last connection we're going to uncover before this World Cup is over. And if you already knew this story, drop a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear what other matchups you want me to dig into next.
If stories like this matter to you, the history hiding behind the headlines, make sure you're subscribed. Because this isn't the last connection we are going to uncover before the World Cup is over. And if you already knew the story, drop a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear what other matchups you want me to dig into next. Bye.